Walking Out with Jonathan Holloway and Liam Grundy.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't that early, was it?
No. You're talking about 1700s they're still doing that. Basically kidnapping people from pubs and putting them on board a ship and destroying their lives. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And that was all regarded as very kind of acceptable, wasn't it? Not one for buying the whole British military kind of nonsense. That's not for me.
Would you which branch of the services would you have gone for?
Oh God! Well, I would have.
Would you feel most at home, do you think?
I've told you the story of what my dad did in the Second World War, clouting a senior officer so he wouldn't have to be a navigator in fighter bombers.
Yeah.
And I think, well done, Dad. I think that was exactly the right thing to do. And then it got even better when he was shipped off to North Africa. And because they were so disgusted with him, because he was such a disgusting man, he was put with Australian artillery in North Africa.
Blimey.
And he didn't have a commanding officer because he was from the RAF. You know,
Oh, I see. So there's right.
Yeah, so he was denied the privileges, the privilege of service in the
So he
RAF.
He never saw action.
No, he only saw Germans when they were surrendering.
God, he must have been furious, mustn't he?
Yeah, and when he was in action, but he was in action, long distance artillery.
Ah.
So they never got anywhere near the enemy.
Was he ever in Acton? He must have been in Acton, though.
I'm sure he was in Acton more than he was in action.
Blimey.
Yeah, and he had time to, rather stupidly, what are you going to collect when you're in North Africa during the war? He collected walking sticks.
Yeah.
So he couldn't bring them all back. So he could only bring a few of them back. But I've seen photographs of him. He used to make up uniforms for himself.
Oh, right.
So and then have his portrait done. A photographic portrait. So, he'd put like jodhpurs on and jackboots, and a Sam Brown belt, an Italian kind of officer's cap.
Hands across the sea. Yeah.
And so, he had
was a walking entente cordiale.
he just used to dress up.
In flags of all nations.
Yeah, and there's a completely inexplicable photograph of him with a lion cub, playing with a lion cub.
Yeah.
You think, where did you get that? What was that about?
Wasn't a cat dressed up, was it?
No, it's a proper lion cub.
Wow.
And there he is playing, oh, you lovely old lion cub, you. You think, bloody hell, what? No, he had a great war. And it all went downhill when he got home. Because my mum and dad they couldn't afford to actually rent a flat as such.
Yeah.
And such things were not that common. So they used to rent a bit of somebody's house. And my two brothers, their early years were in you know, in a kitchen and
Yeah.
what would have been the living room once upon a time, which was turned into the bedroom. And they moved around various, I think they're in 3 different addresses in South London, near Brixton.
Right.
But did I tell you that thing about now I might be wrong about this, but after the Second World War, I think, was it Sir Anthony Eden who was the Home Secretary? Was he the Home Secretary?
He was involved in sewers, wasn't he? So
Yeah. So he sent out, or whoever it was, sent out a memo to judges who were sitting on the courts around the country. What were they called? Circuit judges.
Right.
And that they had to stop hanging war heroes because all these blokes had come back from the Second World War traumatised with
Yeah.
PTSD, and they had weapons coming out of their, because
Yeah.
they came back with Lugers and
Yeah,
things, and they were shooting their families
Wow.
and then being hanged. And that was there was a kind of that became far too common,
God.
and so there were loads of people. There were loads of ex-servicemen were being hanged around the UK after the Second World War.
Let him have it, Chris. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's saying let him have the gun, and he actually didn't pull the trigger, but
Oh,
because he said
really?
let it happen, let him have it, he hanged because he was old enough to, and the other guy pulled the trigger, but he was too young, so he didn't get the death penalty. And but they said at the time around there that the teachers were really struggling in a lot of the schools, especially in the inner cities, because kids had guns.
No.
Because they had the parents' guns. There was a huge amount of guns circulating in the in the sort of trickier parts of the country. Of course, the pen is mightier than
Oh, of course it is.
Parker 51, can do far more damage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was it you were going to say?
Talking about people being hanged,
Oh yeah.
Alfred Pierpoint,
Oh yes. Yes.
the last hangman,
Yes. Yes. He wrote a book, didn't he?
he did.
Yes.
And when he got to a certain age and he was making a few bob, he opened, a lot of people did, he opened a pub in Oldham. He was actually, I think, originally from Yorkshire, but he moved to Oldham, Manchester, obviously been there strange ways. And he ran a pub and it was called Help the Poor Struggler.
Oh my heavens.
And he used to, be behind the bar there and all this. And he was still doing, obviously there weren't as many people being hanged by then,
Yeah.
But he was still hanging them. And then he'd come back and, he'd get like a day return up to Wakefield Prison, hang someone, then come back and be in time. He said, I got back in time for the, to open the pub in the evening, and all this.
In heaven, yeah.
And they asked him about deterrence and the
Yeah.
deterrence of hanging.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who used to drink in his pub,
Yeah.
and they had a nickname for it, and he knew him quite well. They had nicknames for each other. I think he used to call him Tit and Tat or something like that.
Yeah.
I knew him quite well.
Tit for tat.
It could be that.
Yeah.
Probably was. And occasionally on musical evenings in the pub,
Yeah. Yeah.
they would sing sort of duets together. They'd sing,
yeah.
Moonlight Bay, or By the Light of the Silvery Moon, all that kind of thing. Yeah, so they'd sing songs together.
Yeah.
Anyway, this bloke was married, but he had a mistress,
Oh, yeah.
and it all went wrong in the relationship, as it often does.
Yeah.
And he ended up being charged with the murder of his mistress.
Oh.
And he was convicted of it and sentenced to death. And Pierpoint executed him, which is bad for business.
Yeah.
Because obviously, he was a customer.
Yeah.
You don't want to be killing all your customers.
So he'd been serving this bloke across the counter in the pub.
Knew him quite well, had a word with him, knew him. And this guy also knew and heard tales from Pierpoint about what happens and how it happens. And so he knew all the grisly details of how it happens.
Yeah.
But he still went ahead and committed murder. So Pierpoint always said, well, there you go, it's not much of a deterrent, because this guy, he knew me, I knew him. He'd heard all my stories about what happens, yet he still went ahead and took someone's life.
Wow.
So that was why even Pierpoint said it wasn't a deterrent.
The death penalty is not a deterrent. Well, that's interesting. Yes, because that was always the major argument for it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. Just thought I'd share that. If you had been sentenced to death, and let's hope you never are.
Yeah.
What would your last meal be? Any meal you like. I noticed in some of the ones in the southern states, they want like loads of Big Macs and things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But what would you have?
What would
Endive, perhaps, or a small mixed salad, some leaves, perhaps something like that.
What would I have? No, I'd have seafood.
Oh,
I'd have lobster.
really?
Yeah, I'd have a lobster with some English fizzy white wine. So not too ostentatious,
No.
but just enough to fit.
Wouldn't you feel sad for the lobster?
Well, no. Why am I going to feel sorry for the lobster? I'm going to be dead in a few minutes.
Yeah, but maybe you've brought it on yourself because of the lobster.
Yeah.
Your poor old lobster's there.
Yeah, but the lobster didn't. But which, incidentally, somebody asked me yesterday, and I took great pleasure in answering, because I haven't really had the opportunity to say it. But I don't eat octopuses anymore.
No, I don't think I can. No, I don't think I can now. Now that we found out they're smarter than we are.
Yeah, and the people keep them as pets and stuff. And they're sentient. They're officially classed now as sentient beings, aren't they?
Well, do you remember years and years ago, it was either the World Cup last time, it was something, and they said there was this restaurant somewhere that had an octopus that was prophesizing, or predicting rather.
Who were going to be the winning teams?
Yeah. And they kept getting it right.
Really?
And it was like a front page in the tabloids that this octopus could do it.
Yeah.
And you think back now, you think, well, he probably can, because he's probably watched so much football in that restaurant, because it's probably that kind of restaurant that has the game on,
Yeah.
That he probably thought, oh, well, I fancy them for the World Cup,
Yeah.
And as they are brighter than us, probably the octopus knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
that's
couldn't
true.
eat an octopus now.
No.
I mean, I don't mean right now. I mean,
Well,
I think ever. I think I'll have to knock that on the head. Oh, not the octopus, the food.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I'm finished with octopi.
But what about the lobster?
I don't.
They'll find out.
They'll
They'll find out the lobsters know stuff as well.
Yeah. And there are some of those lobsters. They've lived to a ripe old age, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then some boat comes along, and picks them up, and they get banged on the head and put in front of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit too much.
What was the name of the man who exploded in that film? Mr. you know,
Oh, Mr. Creosote.
creosotes. Yeah, they get lobster gets banged on the head, stuck in front of them.
Walking Out with Jonathan Holloway and Liam Grundy. With music by Liam Grundy. A Fruit People production.